Continue looking at police reform in our new series, Justice for All. For the past 4 years, thousands of police officers across the city have been outfitted with body-worn cameras.
This is in an effort to improve accountability and transparency. But just how transparent has the department been with the cameras, and how have they impacted policing today? News 12's Johnny Caldwell has this story.
For years, encounters like these between police and the public have been caught on police body-worn cameras since the NYPD integrated the technology back in 2017.
I truly believe that these cameras have a great potential to de-escalate, and that the footage captured will overwhelmingly benefit everyone involved.
The rollout of those cameras are the result of the monumental Floyd versus New York City case, where stop and frisk, a controversial police tactic that research shows unfairly targeted people of color, was ruled unconstitutional. A judge instead ruling for the department to make a number of changes to their policies, including requiring the use of body-worn cameras.
Having police know there's going to be another accounting of what occurred may make them think about, is there reasonable suspicion that this person is carrying an arm, especially a person of color or a youth, the people who are generally targeted by stop and frisk.
NYPD completing its rollout of 20,000 body cameras in 2019, marking the largest deployment of the devices in the nation. The cameras can be a way to hold civilians accountable, like this body cam footage April showing the moment a driver threw a liquid chemical at a police officer during a traffic stop. That driver was eventually arrested.
I think it's really been a game changer for policing. That video record could be very, very helpful in piecing together what happened, understanding it, and then using that information going forward.
But the footage is also used to hold police officers accountable. This body cam video from last June appears to show an officer put a man in an illegal chokehold, leading to the officer's arrest.
Pictures of the truth. That's what body cams give you. That's what we have today that we never had before, that can bring victims to justice.
Sanford Rubenstein is a civil rights attorney representing Ricky Bellevue, the Bronx man appearing to be choked in the footage. He says out of the more than 20 years that he's been fighting cases, body camera footage is a game changer.
Before body cams, it was he said, she said. It was more difficult to get justice for victims, and justice getting the appropriate damages from a jury when there was no video.
But just how transparent has the department been with the footage since implementation? Political science professor Mark Unger says one issue with the cameras is that they're not always recording when they're supposed to.
I've heard from police officers and civilians around the state is that it's often not turned on, or it's turned on late, or shut off early, or there's some technical issue. And so issues of police manipulation of what happened can extend to body cameras and saying, well, it didn't work, or there's some technical issue.
Chief Matthew Pontillo explaining why the cameras aren't always on.
The cameras are not always recording because we feel that would be unnecessary to record a person's entire day. We set the policy to record events that primarily involve some enforcement or investigative action.
And as body cameras have been useful on many occasions, one question remains. If officials say the cameras have potential to de-escalate, why do uses of force like this during arrests still happen?
Unfortunately, it's still necessary at times, given the nature of police work. You know, there are people who are non-compliant. Thankfully, when we look at it, we look at arrests citywide, and the average use of force during an arrest is about 3% of arrests.
And while the city works to be more transparent, last June the mayor announced a new policy. Body camera footage from specific encounters, like when use of force results in death, must be released within 30 days. Previous policy gave the NYPD discretion on when footage was released to the public.
That creates trust, that creates accountability. That says to the many, many good officers that they know the whole truth will come out from what they saw, from their literal perspective. And it says to any officer who doesn't yet fully understand their responsibilities that they will be held accountable and there will be consequences.
The mayor saying he hopes this step will help better the relationships between police officers and the communities they serve. Johnny Caldwell, News 12.
And be sure to tune in here to News 12 every Wednesday at 10 o'clock for the latest Justice for All coverage. Coming up on July 7th, we're going to be having a 30-minute special, Justice for All special to bring you. And then the week after that, on July 14th, we will have a whole Justice for All town hall discussion on this.
Forecast time once again.